CharCole Sports Show, the hottest names and the hottest takes.
Tune in every Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. where Prien and Cole Larsch highlight prep sports, college sports, coyote athletics, and professional sports. We would love to hear your questions for us too. The phone lines are always open.
Tune in to the CharCole Sports Show each Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. to hear the hottest takes on KAOR Vermilion.
Hey everybody, welcome back to KAOR 91.1 FM here in Vermilion. It's CharCole Sports Show here on this Wednesday, April the 15th. Thank you for tuning in. Going to be a USD sports update as always. We will start. It's been a while since we last talked to you, so we'll run down the remainder of the WNIT bracket and how that all shook out. And then also the different transfers for both the women's and the men's basketball programs, as both teams going to go through a little bit of an overhaul, kind of as we see in just this new era of college basketball. Then we'll do the March Madness Bracket Challenge, officially recap that one. Again, it's been 3 weeks since we've been on the air with you, then some NHL and NBA playoffs, and I believe our picks of the week have been finalized, so we'll get to you those final standings in just a moment. But don't be afraid, the CharCole Sports Show will start right after this.
And here it is, Season 3, Episode 18 of the CharCole Sports Show. Prien and Cole Larsch back at it again. Finally, we get together. A week ago today, I was traveling back from the great country of Mexico, so we couldn't quite make it work. I was probably in the Denver airport about right. No, I was in the air yet. I was in the area.
I think so.
But the Denver airport, Larsch, a wild place. Very,
I believe
very,
it.
very
I believe
large. Abnormally large. Yeah, glad to be back for sure. Glad to be back stateside, as one Zara Larson said. So, yeah, we are rocking and rolling in the chair again, and appreciate you all for tuning in for the 18th episode of the year, Cole. We're doing pretty good. I mean, we'll get over 20, I'd say.
Yeah, we're a little behind pace from previous years, but that's all right.
We get to make our own pace this year. That's the beauty of it.
That is true. That is the facts.
So we thank you all for tuning in. If you want to call in or leave a comment, you sure can. The number to call, 605-658-6813. You'd think we'd have that memorized by now, Cole. But if you would like to leave a comment, you can do that on YouTube. If you're listening on KAOR 91.1 FM, you can find us on YouTube as well. Finding us on YouTube is easy. Type in the CharCole Sports Show on YouTube. That's CharCole Sports Show on YouTube. Well, Cole, we haven't been on together in a while, and a lot has went down.
That is true.
The WNIT specifically.
Yes, that is true. Let me share this quickly. And bada bing, bada boom. And then make sure that that's muted. Okay, yes, the WNIT. It has been some time. Oh boy, we can't see that at all.
Can't do.
How about that? Does that look a little better?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, looks a little better. Oh yeah, WNIT, last time we checked in with you, they were getting ready to play the Super 16. They defeated Pepperdine 73-57 on the heels of Angelina Robles leading the way with 20 points in the win, in front of 1,600 fans, so pretty loud in there as well. And then we move on to the Great Eight, where they took on Montana State, a team that we're probably pretty glad that we didn't have to travel to Montana State because they didn't lose at home all season. Molly Joyce led the way with 31 points in the win. 65-56 was that final score for South Dakota. That's a Grade 8. In front of 2,375 fans in attendance. And then in the Fab Four, Illinois State came to town, a very talented team, in front of 3,002 people. And the USD's dream season came to an end, 67-60. Molly Joyce once again leading the way with 16 points. And that is how the women's basketball team rounded out their season, making that trip to the WNIT and hosting quite a few games as well.
Yeah, for sure. Really fun postseason, Cole. But you have to give it to head coach Gary Amy to keep the girls in line and, desiring to continue to play basketball this late in the year. You say, well, it's just the NIT or the WNIT. Well, no, it's not. You're playing basketball in March. You're playing basketball longer than the other teams who probably wish their season wasn't over, their careers weren't over. There's a few of those type of situations too. That's the last time you will tie up your shoes and put on that uniform. So it's cool to see a team like USD put in a really good effort throughout the entirety of that tournament, Cole.
And the winner of the WNIT, by the way, Illinois State did take the loss. They lost to Marshall, 66-41 was that final score. The Marshall Herd finished the season 23-9 and win the WNIT in that one. And then that kind of starts the postseason, kind of all the different entities that we have to deal with in the postseason now, including the women's basketball transfer portal, which has been some kind of interesting. We'll get to that in a little bit as well, as long as on the men's side as well. But for the majority of the part, I think you have to look back at this season as well and go, very good senior class, obviously, a very good transfers. You brought in 9 transfers.
Had to.
Yeah, and 4 freshmen who got a lot of them got a lot of playing time. And it was just, it was a remarkable season. And you think about it, and this season really could have gone one of 2 ways. With all the transfers, with all the new people coming in, I think Coach Amy and her staff did a wonderful job, and there's a reason that she just signed a
extension,
5-year contract extension, and officially got approved by the Board of Regents, and it was signed by Schemmel and Amy. I'm assuming that's how those contracts work. Anyway, it gets signed by both parties, but I think the women's basketball has a pretty good future ahead of it for the first time, you could argue, since the Plitzweit era.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm interested, Cole, to see. There's a lot of talk about the landscape of NIL changing, but with Coach Amy being extended for the time being, if she has a really successful year one of these next years, you'd have to think that the big money will call. And I'm interested to see what she does with that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see because, like we saw with Amy Williams, who then went to Nebraska, Dawn Plitzweit, who went to West Virginia for a year, and then Minnesota. I mean, eventually, that's just kind of how the chain of command goes. You work your way up.
But what's different, Cole, is the situation up in Brookings, like with Johnston.
Yeah.
Like she could be something like where she likes it here. She likes to be a mid-major team. She likes the city or the town of Vermilion. She likes the atmosphere. There's a lot of things to desire as a coach. So I could see her, sticking it out longer than many more people think.
Oh, yeah, I think that kind of reflects with the contract extension as well. I mean, I don't think you just sign a 5-year contract just see if you think you're going to be gone in a year. I think that's kind of what I'm picking up from that anyway is I think she wants to stay here and there's an interest, and she's got a really good staff. Obviously has been very good in the portal so far, and we'll get to the portal additions as well in a little bit for this next upcoming season. But I think for the first time in a while, there's some hope with the USD women's basketball program, and this was a phenomenal season and a lot of things you can build on as well after this one, especially only losing 10 games on the season, and again winning 15 more than you did last year.
Right,
that's a huge testament.
That's a big swing
to the people, the players, the program, the coaches, everything. And it was just an unbelievable run, unbelievable season. Unfortunate it went out that way, but I think at least most people working were glad that they didn't have to work on Easter Saturday. That'd have been the only downside of it. But hey, you're playing basketball in April, so you can't really complain about it too much.
No, not at all. And again, fun season. Exceeded expectations by a long ways. So excited to see what the future of that team looks like, Cole, as we're going to be moving on to bigger and better things. Not in Vermilion, maybe.
Yeah, be interesting to see. I'm pulling stuff up for our next segments here.
Let's see.
Are we
going to go to men's, or are we just going to...
Well, we're going to start with the women's first. Okay. We're going to start there. Women's transfer portal. We got some names in the portal. So I'll get over to that tab and share it once I find it. I don't want to save it. I want to find. Again, you can see all of this on CharCole Sports Show on YouTube. As I want to share this tab instead and then go over here and it should be up. There we go. Got some names in the women's basketball transfer portal. Do the USD Coyotes, and now it got all weird and scrolled out of there because all these dumb pop-up ads. South Dakota, we got 4 in the transfer portal right here. And 4 people who really, if I'm being honest, did not play a whole lot and obviously did not have very much production. Brooke Jensen did not play. Olivia Moore kind of played sparingly. I believe also had an injury later in the year. Grace Peterson didn't see much time. And Olivia Kiefer kind of played about half the games for South Dakota. And
has a no contact tag.
Has a no contact tag, yes, with that asterisk there. So that'll be interesting to see. I don't believe the portal is closed yet. So we'll be interested to see if any more names pop in. I know for sure the men's one isn't. We had 2 more names added today.
I know Audie Crooks is still looking.
Yeah, which is crazy to say, but I
her
think
asking price is nuts.
Oh, it's got to be a ton. It just has to be a ton. But yeah, those are the 4 names in the transfer portal for South Dakota who have decided they're going to transfer out of South Dakota. Now, a lot of players decided that they were going to stay at South Dakota. See if I can't find them here. I think it was all on Instagram, and that's going to be a lot of work to pull that up on here. But one player that is for sure signed with the South Dakota women's basketball team, as soon as I get it up here, boom. Bree Robinson, a guard from Northern Iowa, originally from Lincoln, Nebraska, was a junior, I believe, last year, and has made the move over to South Dakota as well.
That was a good UNI team.
That was a very good UNI team. As well as Gabby Jackson, a forward from North Alabama, originally from Shawnee, Kansas. Those are 2 for sure. I think those are the only 2 so far, but there have been a couple more that are getting ready to rear and roll for the women's basketball team. So it's moving some new players in. Obviously, you have a lot of pretty talented freshmen coming in as well, if I recall correctly. But yeah, so there's a little look at what's to come for the USD women's basketball team. Obviously, with the great season, how can you rebound? And you're not going to lose much. Obviously, the 4 seniors and now the 4 transfers. But I believe they're bringing in 4 freshmen, so you're really only going to fill 4 spots, I believe.
And that today is very manageable.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially compared to what Coach Amy had to deal with last season. So
it's going to be a light off season.
Yeah, it is. It's been probably a little bit more relaxed. You can actually focus a little bit more on recruiting high school players now if you're Coach Amy and Coach Devin Amy as well on that team. On the men's side, transfer portal, obviously, we saw some big names open up for them, and I got to give a shout-out to this guy's Twitter account if he is to ever see this. This guy right here, it is JB21_SL on Twitter. 55 transfers from the from the Summit League, a lot of them from South Dakota. Let's see, we only had 1 graduate, and that was Cameron Fens. He was the lone senior. He's seeking his 5th year of eligibility, and so he's in the transfer portal as a graduate transfer.
There's a lot of people in the Summit League, Cole, entering the portal with no eligibility because they think that the NCAA is going to grant them another year based off of some weird bill.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I think that's the agents hoping they get some money.
Yeah, but this is right now we're missing the latest signee for the men's team. But as of right now, this is what the roster looks like. We got 5 open spots. So far, the only returners: Jake Brack, Ethan Kaiser, Josiah Dotzler, Jalen Hayes, Vince Buzelis, and Luke Bruns. Brack was hurt for part of the year. Kaiser, I believe he's healthy the whole time. Dotzler was hurt. Hayes was hurt. Buzelis played quite a bit, and Bruns took a red shirt. He did not play. And then 3 freshmen coming in: Marvin Richard III from Pine Ridge, South Dakota, Michael Nee, and that guy right there in the bottom, who I apologize, not going to even attempt to say his name. But 3 incoming freshmen for Eric Peterson and his squad. And we'll see if I can't get an update from this guy with the addition. I don't believe he's quite on here yet.
Shoot him a DM.
No, he is not. So I'll go to another Twitter account who I'm sure will have it. That is Jay Elson. Here it is right here. And if I do this, and if I do this, boom. USD adds a graduate transfer point guard from Iowa State. Cade Kelderman appeared in 45 games over 3 seasons with the Cyclones.
Interested in that he didn't put stats on there.
He's a guard from Waukee, Iowa. That's now the second player that the combined men's and women's programs have from Waukee, Iowa. Let me look this guy up. Cade Kelderman. Oh, I didn't put an L. Right here. This season, let's see.
Tell me how it is. I don't want you to...
2023-24, he played 12 games, averaged 2 minutes a game. 2024-25, he averaged 5.5 minutes a game over 15 games. And 2025-26, he averaged 3.7 minutes across 18 games. His career stats... here, let's go splits. Can I go? Oh, no, I can't. Okay, how do I find his career stats? Oh, career. He's appeared in 45 games, 3.8 minutes a game. He averages 0.8 points, 0.2 rebounds a contest through his 45 games with Iowa State.
Well,
42% three-point shooting in those games.
Okay, well.
So I'm sure this is a guy that they've probably had some film on from his high school career, would be my guess.
A guy who just really wants to get time, knows he's good.
Likely, knowing what this team needed at least this year, likely a pure three-point shooter. That's what we were missing. Obviously, we had it with Isaac Bruns, then he got hurt. And you could tell it was a big gap in the...
But now you need a big man. You have to go find one or two guys that can fill a spot.
Because Ashton Smith on his way out, Cameron Fens obviously transferred as well. So it'll be interesting to see.
The world we live in.
What all comes up. See if I missed anything else from Jay Elson over the past couple of days. I don't believe so on the USD side. Bree Robinson. By the way, Bree, stats from UNI, played in 80 games, including 21 starts. She averaged 9 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists last season for UNI.
She's going to be good.
She's going to be a guard from Lincoln, Nebraska. She should be pretty talented. Gabby Jackson averaged 7.5 points, 7 rebounds in her freshman season at Northern Alabama. And she earned a spot in the ASUN Conference's all-freshman teams. There's some stats on the USD women's signees. Isaac Bruns has heard from a long laundry list of schools in the transfer portal.
Doesn't mean he's gotten offers from them. But...
That's true. Including Iowa, Nebraska, Creighton, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Missouri, Iowa State, Kansas State, before it starts dropping into some mid-major schools. This guy on Twitter listed up Murray State twice. So maybe there's a lot of...
or the agent sent this, as a, hey, this is who we've heard from. Yeah. We want you to make it sound like he is sought after. That's typically what it is. It's all agents and...
Yeah, oh yeah. Yep. Let's see. Let's go to the latest on Twitter.
That's what we should do for a show. Just scroll Twitter and just talk about random things that come up. That'd be a fun segment.
Yeah, I probably couldn't do it on the radio, though.
Yeah.
But Yeah, not much. Except for that last post, and that was from 5 days ago, April 10th, when that guy on Twitter says that allegedly that's who all the schools he's heard from. But interesting. Yeah, we never know where anybody's going to end up these days. That's just kind of the. I don't want to say the beauty of the transfer portal, but obviously there's some pros to it, but there's way more cons than pros, and I'll just leave it at that.
Speaking of cons, let's talk about the softball team.
The softball team, USC softball team, had a bit of a struggle so far to the start of the season. As they sit right now, the USD softball team is 10-29-1, including a couple of tough losses. Their last win since we last talked to you, they defeated South Dakota State at home. After losing 4-0, 9-0, they won 8-6 on March the 22nd.
I hate how they play their schedule out, man.
What, the Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
Yeah.
Well, take that up with the Summit League, because I also hate it. And don't really want to get me started on it. SDSU jumped out to an early 3-0 lead. 2 RBI double from Madison Evans, an aggressive base running that kept pressure on the Jackrabbits defense. That's straight from GoYotes.com.
Yo Goats.
SDSU regained the lead, carried a 5-3 advantage into the 6th. Yotes erupted for 5 runs on 5 hits in the inning. RBI singles from Ella McGee and Brooke Carey before Abby Brown broke it open with a 2 RBI double to give USC the 8-5 lead. They tallied 11 hits, and Madison Evans went the distance in the circle, striking out 10. Despite allowing 6 runs, she limited further damage and held off a late push to secure the victory. They moved after that game to 1-2 in the Summit League schedule. After that win, it was they picked up 2 wins, actually, since we last talked to you. They defeated St. Thomas and lost 2 games there, went 1-2 up in St. Thomas, a 9-0 and 4-1 loss, and a 6-3 win, which this one was played like the old style, a doubleheader on Saturday and a 1-game Sunday because of weather, the cold. And then here at Nygaard Field, the latest homestand in the Summit League, North Dakota State coming to town, who, fun fact, until a day ago, had yet to play a home game this season. They have played 35 games on the road or something like that. So there you go. Fun fact about NDSU. NDSU takes the win on Friday, 4-1, before exploding on Saturday for a 21-2 victory. USD goes up 2-0 in the first inning. And then NDSU scores 7 in the third, 4 in the fourth, 10 in the fifth to get the Mercy Rule victory, 21-2. Then on Sunday, April 12th, USD goes up 5-1 heading into the fifth inning. NDSU scores 2 in the fifth, 2 in the sixth to tie it, and 5 in the seventh inning to take the win, 10-5. Then the last contest, just yesterday, the Yotes fall to Iowa State 8-0 on a game that was delayed midway through due to some weather. The USD currently sits right now 10-29-1. The one game being a tie that was called off halfway through due to rain. They are 2-7 in Summit League play, which puts them in second to last, I believe, last time that I checked. They got a couple more Summit League series coming up. They'll travel to Grand Forks Saturday, Sunday, Monday, which is an interesting schedule there.
Monday at 1.
Yeah, so Saturday at 6 p.m.
But we're all about the student-athletes, Cole.
Well, it's going to be, I bet I know why, because it's going to be on TV. It's going to be on Midcoast Sports Saturday and Sunday. And then it's Monday at 1, yes. And then because of that, I'm sure they're doing it to push it back due to the weather. So they pushed the Thursday game to Monday. Because of that, there will only be one game at home, Tuesday the 21st, as USD will host Drake for the Pink Out. And the
Post-game autographs.
and post-game autographs.
That's what I'm talking about.
They'll then travel to Kansas City for a 3-game series, then host Omaha the 30th, the 1st, and the 2nd to round out their Summit League schedule. The Summit League tournament this year will be in St. Paul starting on May the 6th. There's that. There's a rundown of the South Dakota softball schedule. How they done this year?
We skipping golf?
Well, the women's golf team is they've wrapped up their regular season, and the Summit League tournament begins at Longbow Golf Club in Mesa, Arizona. Summit League Championship Sunday the 26th, Monday the 27th, and Tuesday the 28th is the Summit League Championship for the women's golf team. So they have wrapped up their regular season, I guess you could say. The men's golf team has the Hawkeye Invitational Monday, Tuesday, the 20th and 21st, before they head down to Mesa, Arizona, the mecca of the Summit League, as our friends at the Howling Podcast say. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, May 3rd, 4th, and 5th for the Summit League Championships down there in Mesa, Arizona. Both teams might not have the best contention for the team title. There's some really good team golfers out there this year in the Summit League, but have some decent chances overall for some individual awards. That'll be interesting to look out for.
I'll tell you, I really don't know much about this golf team, so.
Both teams have some really good golfers. They just, I don't think either one of them quite have a full 5 to try to get a team title.
Sure.
But you also never know. That's the beauty of golf. Some days you got it, some days you don't. And a lot of days I don't. But there's that for you. And I think that rounds out the tennis team. They got to be getting close to finishing up their Summit League schedule. They just took a sweep at home to Omaha, lost 7-0 on Sunday. But it was a beautiful day for it. Also senior day. I believe rounds out the USD sports update. Sir Charles?
Yeah, man. Let's talk about the March Madness tournament and then make some fun predictions for this upcoming weekend. We got some stick and puck to talk about.
Yeah.
And then,
there you go.
That large orange ball that they throw around in the league
basket.
In the league they call the professional one. So.
Yeah, I probably won't be watching much of that.
Nope.
But yeah,
I'll probably watch like when the Timberwolves play. I'll throw it on maybe, but
yeah, we'll see. That might be a stretch.
Yeah.
Let me share my screen so we can take. This is going to be the CharCole Sports Show had a bracket challenge this year, and as soon as I can pull it up, we'll get to our winners. Actually, I'm going to start in last place because that'll be funnier.
Did I get last?
No.
I honestly have not looked.
Well, you're gonna chuckle at this. Ready for this? Can you see that? Here, what if I do this?
Wow.
Last place right there with 49 points, picking Houston to win it all. Riley Haynes.
It is a crapshoot.
Hayden Wallace, John Acree, Rasmus Brady Reiners, Jack Larsch got 38th. Good job, Jack.
I can't be much further off.
Ben Loffman 34th. Morgan Benzo 33rd. Dee Aaron picking Nebraska, bold pick.
Still placed better than Morgan.
Fred Prien 28th. Now we go to the top 25. There's mine. I got 19th. I picked Arizona to win it. I was top 4 going into the going into the Final Four, I believe. John Iaconian 25th. Bryce, big man, me.
I got 17th.
You got 17th
first time I've
right
looked.
there, yeah. And Joe Van Gore, Carter Schmidt, Jessica Ballmiller taking 10th, Avery taking 8th, Darcy Larsch in 5th, Mark Wendt in 4th, and M. Herbelik, I believe I'm pronouncing that right, picking Michigan to win it all.
Do you know John Driscoll?
I don't think so.
I don't either. So do we know, like, who's the highest placing person that we know?
Mark Wendt.
Mark Wendt. It's like
And
we're
Darcy
buying.
Ralph Wallace.
Ralph Wallace.
Mark Wendt, Darcy Larsch. So there you go. There's the top 5. I had some people ask me before they before they entered, they said, "Is there a prize?" I said, "Bragging rights." We never agreed to one before the deal started, but it does have a Twitter account that tagged us constantly. Let's see if I can pull it up.
Cancel the CharCole Sports Show. Do it.
It is Offsides Daily.
Okay.
On Twitter, at Offsides Daily. And it appears, I don't know. Never seen that yet. Congratulations, Offsides Daily. You won yourself some bragging rights for winning the 2026 CharCole Sports Bracket Challenge. So
or if you want to get on a plane and come down to Verm.
That is true.
We'll get you a Bunyan's gift card.
That is true.
They don't even do gift cards.
They don't?
I have no idea. Probably not.
Might do gift certificates.
Yeah.
Never know.
I'll ask.
The CharCole Sports Show would not be able to fund the plane ticket.
Nope.
But we would be able to fund the Bunyan's gift certificate if they have one.
Or John Driscoll, if you're listening, you can accept it.
Yep.
I'll end up seeing Ralph. I'll have lunch sometime with him this summer.
There you go.
He probably won't let me pay, though.
Probably not. Darcy Larsch will have to pay for our lunch.
Mark? Well, I think you're too far down the list.
Yeah, fourth, we'll see. Friend of the show, though, Mark Wendt.
Yes.
They do a very good job over at the Howling Podcast. They always have a very good variety of guests.
They do, yeah. I wonder, how, if they just get together and create a list of, everyone they can imagine. And
well, about 8 episodes in, at one point, we were on that list.
And then they got too cool for us.
Yeah, we must be getting pushed down that list quite a bit.
That'd have been cool. We should have done it. I remember the day you're like, do you want to do it? And I'm like, not really.
That was our chance.
That was our chance to make our big break.
Yeah,
and now look at us. Look at us,
yeah.
pond scum.
But, no, I want to give a shout out to those guys. They do a really good job. They had the 2016 WNIT team on. They had, I think it was 4 players and coach, Davey Williams. Yeah, that was a really good show. They just had Brad Newitt on Sunday. I usually can't make it to watch live because Sunday at 9 is about my bedtime on Sundays.
Yeah.
But
we're old.
Yeah. I just turned 22. I'm old now.
Yeah.
But, they do a really good job.
Larshi, see if you can find the projected bracket for the next segment.
Oh, yeah.
See if you can pull that up so we can talk about it. Because it's not set in stone for our next segment, but we're going to try to get there.
Okay.
There's got to be one.
Yeah, there is. NHL.com's got one.
And that's what it'd be. The National Hockey League playoffs start Saturday. I think the regular season wraps up either tomorrow or Friday.
Friday, yep. There's 8 games today, 8 games tomorrow.
Could you imagine going and playing Friday, 9 o'clock Friday? Because the Avs play 9 o'clock.
Wait, I think they wrap up Thursday.
Oh, okay.
They play today and tomorrow.
Okay. Because I know the Avs play 9 o'clock. They're the last game of the regular season. And can you imagine
Kraken at Avs
at 9 Central Time? So imagine going that, and then you're playing again Saturday at 1 o'clock or whatever time the slots are.
I don't know if they're going to. I'm thinking because the Stars played Wednesday that the Wild and the Stars are going to play Saturday to begin. But again, times, and I can actually pull this up right here. Talk about NHL playoffs. Times.
There you go. I'm gonna say it's really blurry, but it's good now.
Okay, yeah, it should be loaded in there. Times and locations to be determined for the majority of the part, and TV and all that. But here's the Stanley Cup playoffs as it sits right now. The Avalanche and the Kings face off up there in the top right.
The longest odds of the entire bracket.
Yeah, I think the Kings
I've seen them already. Yeah.
The Avalanche will roll them. Stars will be the higher seed as they host the Minnesota Wild. Should be a fun series.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I would see it at least going 6 or 7 total games. So.
Oh, yeah. Easily. Easily. Vegas and Utah. The Golden Knights and the Mammoth currently projected. Again, here's where we start to get a little interesting because none of the bottom 4 you see there in the bottom left, Vegas, Edmonton, and Anaheim, they're not set yet.
Right.
So,
but you look at
technically the Kings aren't either. So I mean, it's a little interesting. So a lot of things can change between now and then. But
you look at the bottom half of the Western Conference though, and you say, well, I mean, Minnesota, Dallas, Colorado would run over all of those teams. In fact, Anaheim lost last night to Minnesota with Minnesota's literal AAA guys or double A guys.
Yeah, they were playing the Iowa Wild pretty much.
Wallstead did have a good game though. But Lars, look at that Eastern Conference. Buffalo Sabres in the playoffs for the first time in 15 years.
Yep.
Shout out Hayden Teedy. But Boston, a really scary team to play in the first round for Buffalo.
Yeah, that's a crazy wild card one. I'm going to be honest right there.
Because there's a lot of people talk about it, and a lot of folks talk about it on 9 to noon when Paul Allen has hockey pundits or whatever they are on, and they talk about a fan base and a team doesn't know how to operate in playoff hockey until you play a few years in a row.
Yep.
Like, it's not easy. You can't just NFL it and go 1 year not making the playoffs and the next year win the Super Bowl. It's not how it works in hockey, especially because there's 7-game series. You have to win 4 games, over 7. So
that's
I could see that thing being a toss-up.
Yeah, I'd be closer than a lot of people think. I mean, you just think of the playoffs and you think of the Boston Bruins.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And shout out Daniel Loffman.
That's true. Yeah, shout out Dan. Tampa Bay and Montreal. Again, a lot of these are not set in stone as of yet. We'll just have to wait for the official bracket when the season ends tomorrow. I'm sure they'll have depending on the scenarios, they'll have the bracket out and hopefully times and TV all going to be announced.
They better.
One thing about these Wild games, though, they will be the last ever games broadcast on the FanDuel Sports
That's
Network.
so sad.
After the first Wild Series, FanDuel Sports Network will be no longer. So, R.I.P.
I actually really enjoy that network. I think they do a great job.
They always do. They've always had really good announcers, really good analysts, everything.
And even
no matter the team they've got. Now, their scorebug for baseball stinks, but it's really good for hockey.
It is really good.
And it's okay for basketball.
I would prefer that scorebug over any other hockey scorebug.
Yeah.
I'm serious. It's better. ESPN's is trash. It's trash for hockey.
I agree. But that's where it sits right now. And then Carolina, Ottawa, Pittsburgh, and
Pittsburgh's back in it. I'm pulling for Pittsburgh to come out of that side.
Yeah, Philly just clinched yesterday.
They did.
So I was watching the guy that always wears a bunch of that makeup. What's his name? Anyway, doesn't matter. But he was celebrating his third row in the corner, and they scored, and it was unreal.
Nice.
But this is the NHL playoffs as it sits right now. I think, I don't really know that much about old stick and puck here, but I think the Avalanche are the heavy favorite.
I was going to say so too. They're
right?
so deep, and you judge a hockey team, and I don't really know. I'm not a knower of puck, but you judge a hockey team based on how many goals you get from your third, fourth liners, Cole. If you can get more goals on average from your third and fourth liners, you're going to win you're going to win series.
Yeah.
Last year, this was a stat that I heard. Last year when the Wild played, I think they played Vegas last year in the playoffs and ended up losing. In the series that the Wild played against Vegas, there were 29 total goals scored. 10 of them were Kaprizov, 10 of them were Boldy, and 9 of them were the field.
Huh.
So think about that, Cole. You have absolutely no help from anybody else. Well, that's a different team this year for Minnesota. It's going to be different. Dallas is banged up. They played recently. Minnesota's been trying all sorts of funny stuff with their lines. If anybody knows what the plan is in the net and with the lines, I think Minnesota. I don't think Dallas knows what to expect. They won't game one. That's you're going to see an element of surprise game one for Minnesota. Dallas is going to have to match up to Minnesota, and because the last few games, the Wild don't really care. I mean, they did care for a while, but they've been messing with their lines. They've been trying different stuff because you wanted to try out Tarasenko and Kaprizov on the same line until they did absolutely nothing with each other for a game and a half, and then you change that up, and Kaprizov looked really good. Like the games where Kaprizov had, hat tricks back to back, you'd expect to see that line a couple more times in the playoffs, and I'm guessing you'll probably see that in Game 1 against Dallas. That's about the only thing Dallas can expect is that line with Kaprizov and Boldy, obviously Hughes, but all of them in the same line will look really good. And I'd expect to see a guy like Tarasenko get some good lines too. But he really is a good second liner, and you need him out there because he's so smart. He just does some like the most uncharacteristic stuff, but it works. So guys like him, veterans like him, are going to change things for the Wild this playoffs or in these playoffs.
Current odds right now, as of DraftKings.com, the Colorado Avalanche are the favorites at plus 320, the Carolina Hurricanes at plus 450. Then in order, number 3 is the Lightning, number 4 are the Golden Knights, number 5 are the Stars, 6 the Oilers, 7 the Senators, 8 the Sabres.
What are the odds for the Wild right now?
They're in 9th at plus 1,800.
So like a $20 bet would do what?
Well, 100 would get you 1,800.
Okay, 100 will get you 1,800. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh man, that's not bad.
But yeah, the Sabres being plus 1,600. It's interesting.
That is really interesting.
Yeah,
but again, like you have to know how to play playoff hockey.
Yeah, you have to.
Cole, my computer's about to die here.
Is it actually?
Yeah,
how much longer you got?
Oh no, it's at 8%. We're good.
Okay, you're good. Well, we only got one more thing to talk about, so we can move right on to that. I think if we had to pick right now, I think it's the Avalanche.
Yeah, I'm going to, just to say something different, I'll take Minnesota. I think if Dallas gets past Minnesota, they're going to come out banged up, so I don't really, I don't know. I think no matter what, you're going to see someone in the Western Conference Final from that top half of the West. I don't think the Kings can do anything, even if it is the Kings. Vegas, you could see them maybe do something, but it's just so hard because like the home ice advantage you're going to have in a place like Dallas, Minnesota, or Colorado is a lot different. And no offense to the Vegas Knights fans, but seriously, the fans want it more. And like, a lot of people say that, well, Vegas is such a revolving door fan base. Well, that's really what it is.
Yeah.
So it means something.
Yeah, I think it's going to be. I think the Avalanche. They're so good. But it's playoff hockey. It's one of the best. We could rank this some other show when we bring back our ranking segments when we're just trying to pass time. But the Stanley Cup playoffs are one of the most fun to watch. Like I've usually never had a team in it because the Wild always lose right away.
Now you got a team in it. We're going to be watching all the games.
But it's just so fun to watch. It's up there with one of the best sporting events, like the sporting. Well, it's going to end up being like 2 months, but things to watch. That'll be awesome to watch. Something that, depending on your taste of professional sports, might be and might not be interesting to watch. The NBA playoffs are not quite set in stone, as we're still doing the play-ins. But as it's right now, out of the West, Thunder the 1, Spurs the 2, Nuggets the 3. Nuggets and Timberwolves will begin on April 18th, which is Saturday, I believe, at 2:30 on Prime Video. Out of the East, Pistons got the 1 seed, Celtics are the 2, Knicks 3, Cavs 4, Raptors 5. 76ers and Magic playing in the play-in. The Thunder playing whatever team plays in there over the West. Charles, your thoughts?
Yeah, dude. Again, looking at that Nuggets-Timberwolves deal, I could really care less about anybody else. I don't care to watch the Pistons or the Cavs or the Raptors or the Knicks or the Hawks. I'll watch the Celtics for Baylor Shireman. The Spurs are kind of a fun team, but that whole Western Conference is really fun. Besides the Thunder, they're not a fun team to watch.
No.
The series for the Nuggets and Timberwolves is literally just the finals, in my opinion. Like, this is what it is. Like, I don't really care, what happens after the fact. It'd be great if Minnesota got to the finals, but the Spurs are going to be the team to beat, I think. They have had the Thunder's, number all year, Cole. Like, when the Thunder started off so hot and then the Spurs finally beat them, everyone was like, man, what's up with these guys? They have the sauce. And I think they've kept the sauce kind of jarred up, if you will, the proverbial sauce in the proverbial jar, because they know how to beat the Thunder, and they don't need to show it to the whole world until hopefully they meet in the conference finals. I hope not. I hope the Timberwolves or the Nuggets beat them, but I don't think if the
Yeah.
Timberwolves or Nuggets meet up with the Thunder in the conference finals that the refs are going to let that happen. So, Cole.
As it sits right now, the Oklahoma City Thunder are plus 110 to win the NBA Finals. Spurs right behind them at plus 500. Celtics at plus 550. The Nuggets at plus 850. Pistons are the 7th favorite to win it right now, even though they're the number 1 seed out of the East. And I believe that's because Cade Cunningham is injured, correct? I honestly
don't
couldn't
know.
even tell you.
I
could
don't
not
know.
even tell you. I'm thinking it's going to be Spurs and the Celtics, I believe, in the finals.
I would be okay with that. Anybody
that-
besides the Thunder, dude.
Yeah, I agree. I 1,000,000% agree. But Nuggets Timberwolves, that should be an interesting series. It has been the last 2 years since when they met. So, right, they've met the last 2 years.
I think so.
I'm pretty sure. I don't know. Out of all the professional sports, even including the MLS and everything like that, I think the NBA is my least watched,
Hardest to watch.
especially during the regular season.
Playoffs are better.
Yeah, they're better. They're still not great. But
Plus, you have a timeout. You're watching commercials for 90% of the game. It feels like.
that is true. That is true. But yeah, there's the NBA. I think the Spurs are gonna get them. Honestly, I'm just.
I
cheering.
really hope so.
I'm just cheering against the Thunder, to be completely honest with you. But
I like Wemby too.
Yeah, that goes out to Shoe. Shout out Shoe.
Shout out.
Thunder's fan somehow from Omaha, but yeah, I think that's about what I got.
I think that's all we need, Cole.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a bit of a abbreviated show today. Still made it to 6:47, so that's pretty impressive compared to the length of our script that we had today. I'm not going to disclose how long it was, but it was not. It was pretty impressively short. Got any final words for us? We will be back next week. It's the NFL Draft preview.
Yeah.
All show next week. That'll be the entire show.
We're going to do a full 32. We're going to do a mock. We're each going to do a mock. I'm not sure how we're going to make that happen. Because we're going to do. Should we do a combined mock or a separate mock?
We should probably do it combined.
Okay.
And then I could just share this.
Okay, that works.
Yeah. On-air production.
We'll do an on-air production mock.
But,
Expect it
yeah,
next week.
Expect a mock draft, whole hour talking about the NFL draft. I don't believe we're going to do the live show for the Thursday NFL draft.
Unless we get a sponsor.
Unless somebody wants to sponsor us.
So we are actively looking for sponsors.
The DMs are open at CharCole Sports on Twitter, at Cole Larsch, ColeLarsch, at CPRIEN51 on Twitter. DMs are open.
Yeah, the DMs are open, and if it gets to that point, we can talk with our agent about some negotiations. So.
Yep. All the agents in room 101. Those are our agents. But it's been a fun one. We'll see you next week for an NFL draft preview here on KAOR 91.1 FM in Vermilion. This has been the CharCole Sports Show.